Good afternoon, everyone. I'm David Fisher. We're pleased to celebrate our graduates from the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications at this afternoon's Convocation ceremony. At this time, I acknowledge the talented group of individuals behind me who, under the direction of Raymond Barree, comprise the MacEwan University Big Band. I would like to remind you that the Winspear Center is an acoustically responsive hall, so we ask that if you are carrying any electronic devices, you take the time now to turn them off for the duration of the ceremony. If you need to step outside of the concert hall, the Winspear has monitors in the lobby on which you can watch the remainder of the ceremony. A professional photographer will be taking photos of the graduates as they cross the stage and backstage after they have received their parchments. Information on how to obtain the photos will be forwarded to graduates at a later date. We have one more musical number and then the ceremony will begin. Thank you. Once again, please join me in a big round of applause for the MacEwan University Big Band. Now everyone, if you are able, please rise. At this time, I am pleased to introduce the the mace bearer for the ceremony. Chandel Rimmer, Associate Professor from the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications, is carrying the university's mace, which was donated to the university in 1997 by its namesake, Dr. Grant MacEwan, and became the official university mace in 2008. It is especially meaningful to the university as it was hand-carved by Dr. MacEwan. Further information on the mace and other Convocation traditions can be found in your Convocation program. The faculty procession is led by Mabel Garcia from the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communication. Please remain standing for the academic procession.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I am delighted to welcome you to this afternoon's convocation ceremony. Today's convocation is indeed a wonderful and celebratory one as we recognize our graduates for their achievements at MacEwan University. Graduates, distinguished guests, members of the stage party, faculty, staff, and all others in attendance, my name is Dr. Annette Trimby, President and Vice Chancellor of MacEwan University. I would first like to take the time to acknowledge that the land on which we gather in Treaty 6 territory is the traditional gathering place for many Indigenous people. We honor and respect the history, languages, ceremonies, and culture of the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples who call this territory home. The First Peoples' connection to the land teaches us about our inherent responsibility to protect and respect Mother Earth. With this acknowledgement, we honor the ancestors and children who have been buried here, missing and murdered Indigenous women and men, and the process of ongoing collective healing for all human beings. We are reminded that we are all treaty people and of the responsibility we have to one another. This week, as part of our convocation ceremonies, we recognize and celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. Created in 1982, it is an important day of acknowledgement, solidarity, and celebration. Recognizing the history and future of Indigenous peoples across Canada is appropriate as we celebrate education and learning. I am so pleased we are able to incorporate the voices of our Indigenous community and the talent and creativity of Indigenous musicians. I would now like to invite our Indigenous Knowledge Keeper, Daphne Alexis, to provide an Indigenous invocation.
Tanse, Oki, Abawashtit, Daphne Alexis McCabe, Wakamne Shidaha Himut, Ishnish Pirimadlin Wahine, Good day. My name is Daphne Alexis. I'm from the Alexis Nakota Sioux Nation, and I'm thankful to be here and to be a part of this. It is an honor to receive this protocol to acknowledge the 7 directions: water, air, earth, and all living beings. And the other directions are the helpers. So with that, I'm going to sing a prayer song that acknowledges the 7 directions. Ishnish, thanks for having me, and Ishnish to my ancestors for preserving what I just did for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Daphne, for your prayer song, for starting us off in a good way. We're very grateful that you can spend some time with us today. The celebration and sharing of Indigenous culture are key to building a strong future for Indigenous people here at MacEwan, in Edmonton, and across the country. I'm grateful to be able to welcome Latana Wachiwi Alexis from Alexis Nakota Sioux Nation and Dalen O'Cheese from Goldfish Lake. Latana is a fancy dancer and Dalen is a jingle dancer. They will be joined by the Logan Alexis Singers. The Logan Alexis Singers is a round dance group composed of family members and proteges of the late Logan Alexis, respected elder of the community of the Alexis First Nation. Thank you, Latana, Dalen, and the Logan Alexis Singers. What a wonderful performance. Thank you for celebrating with us today. Now please stand for the singing of our national anthem led by Miranda Smith. I have the privilege of introducing Dr. Tony Fields, MacEwan's first Chancellor. We were honored when Dr. Fields took on the role of MacEwan's first Chancellor last spring. Dr. Fields has had a long and distinguished career in medicine as a physician, teacher, researcher, and administrator. Most recently, he was Professor of Oncology at the University of Alberta and Vice President of Cancer Care for Alberta Health Services before retiring in 2011. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Fields to officially open Convocation.
Thank you, Dr. Trimby. Welcome to MacEwan University's Spring 2022 Convocation. I have the honor and pleasure of conferring your academic credentials today. As Chancellor, I declare MacEwan University's Convocation open. At this academic ceremony, we will honor our 2022 graduates by conferring degrees, diplomas, and certificates, and we will recognize the outstanding achievements of students of MacEwan University. Graduation from a university is one of the substantial passages in life, and it deserves to be showcased and celebrated at a ceremony shared with one's classmates, loved ones, and teachers. The COVID-19 pandemic prevented us from holding in-person spring convocations in 2020 and 2021. It is wonderful to be back to our fulsome tradition in 2022, the year in which we also celebrated our 50th anniversary. I extend a warm welcome to all who are here today, also to those who are joining us online. Graduates, today is all about you, and we are honored to be here to celebrate with you today. During your years at MacEwan, you applied yourselves diligently to your studies. You rose to the challenges inherent in advanced learning, also to the complexities and constraints caused by the pandemic. You gained valuable knowledge and you learned key skills. You also acquired important attributes such as collegiality, empathy, and curiosity. Your knowledge, skills, and attributes are tools that will help you succeed in whatever field of work or further study you choose, enriching your careers and benefiting the communities you influence. Our world is changing, and the pace of change is increasing. Our experiences of just the past 2 years have underscored this reality. None of us can predict with certainty the challenges and opportunities that we will face in our individual future paths. This uncertainty means that while your post-secondary credential will open doors for you, it is not a cruise control button. Adaptability to change will be a vital asset. I encourage you to embrace the value of lifelong learning that is so critical to meeting challenges and benefiting from opportunities. We believe that your time and experiences at MacEwan will have helped to prepare you to face the uncertainties of the future and to deal with them. Indeed, we hope that we have sparked in you the ambition to shape a better future for our world and our societies, rather than simply cope with what the future throws at you. Thus, be curious about your changing world. Pose questions and seek answers. Engage with and learn from those around you. Recognize and harness the synergistic power of teamwork. As you graduate, you join the growing community of MacEwan alumni. Collectively, you and your fellow alumni demonstrate the many benefits that education at MacEwan contributes to our society across many disciplines and within our public, private, and voluntary sectors. I look forward to conferring your credentials here today, and also look forward to what you will all accomplish in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fields. Our Chancellor lives the values that he spoke to you just about, and I can say he is definitely a lifelong learner, and he's certainly not on cruise control. Did I say he retired in 2011? He's busier than most people who work. Anyways, we're very grateful to have him as part of our community. It is my pleasure to now introduce members of the stage party. Members of the stage party, please remain standing once you have been called. Members of the audience, please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. You've already met the Chancellor, Dr. Tony Fields. Next to him is our Board of Governors Chair, Carolyn Graham, and our Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. Craig Monk. Would members of our Board of Governors rise, please? Would our Deans and Vice Presidents rise, please? I now ask our Associate Vice Presidents and Associate Deans to stand, please. I would like to recognize our distinguished alumni, Professor McNeil. Would other members of the University Administration rise, please? I now ask that the representatives of each of our associations, faculty, staff, alumni, and students to stand. Would our Indigenous Knowledge Keeper, Daphne Alexis, please rise? I now ask the mace bearer, distinguished proctor, and remaining faculty and staff of the university to stand, please. This is our 2022 Convocation stage party. Together, okay, yes, we're gonna do. Together, they represent all the faculty and staff from across the university who taught you, encouraged you, challenged you, supported you, and worked behind the scenes for you during your time at MacEwan University. and they are all honored to be here to celebrate with you today. So please join me in acknowledging them again, this time louder. Thank you, members of the stage party. You may now be seated. I invite student board member Miles Dykes to read the MacEwan University's student invocation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Through learning, we flourish and help others to flourish. We stand here today on the brink of important change for ourselves and the world. Inspired by the past, we now step forward to transform the future. Engaging with others, we cherish the diversity of experiences within ourselves and within our communities. Through perseverance, we excel. Through compassion, we connect. Through creativity, we thrive. Through knowledge, we grow. Through all this and more, let us forge a legacy to nurture, to inspire, to endure. Moved by this spirit, strong in our knowledge, we move out into the world with open arms, open minds, and open hearts. We pledge to leave the world better than we found it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miles. I now ask Elliot Rose, Alumni Association representative, to the podium to introduce our distinguished alumni.
Thank you, President Trimby. Good afternoon. Alumni are the university's greatest legacy. And each year, MacEwan recognizes the outstanding contributions and achievements of its graduates through the Distinguished Alumni Award. Presented at a ceremony held earlier this spring, we are pleased to have Dean McNeil join us today to deliver the convocation address of the class of 2022. Dean McNeil is a trumpeter, composer, and professor of brass and jazz at the University of Saskatchewan. He has recorded and produced more than 15 albums, toured the country, and shared the stage with renowned artists like Tommy Banks, John Ballantyne, and David Braid. A tireless advocate of music education, he has led many professional and education-based projects, including the Saskatoon Jazz Orchestra, the Saskatchewan Jazz Festival's Jazz Intensive Music Education Program, and the University of Saskatchewan's Kenderdine Campus Jazz Composers Retreat.
Board Chair, Chancellor, President, Provost, Stage Party, distinguished colleagues, friends and family of our graduates, Indigenous leaders and elders, and especially MacEwan students graduating today. Let me begin by saying what a profound honor it is for me to be in your company today. MacEwan University did something special for me and to me. It ignited a passion within me. MacEwan music faculty unlocked some of the inner secret workings of music for me, and just as importantly, they gave me insight into how the music business worked. MacEwan's fine arts faculty led by example back then, as they do now today, and those examples changed the trajectory of my life for the better. I'm so very thankful to have had the opportunity to work with faculty like Rick Garn, Bobby Cairns, Charlie Austin, Gary Guthman, Gordon Nicholson, Ray Buree, and the one and only Tommy Banks. Graduates, I would encourage you to stay connected to your home institution, to your mentors and to your classmates. Only good things will come from maintaining these sorts of touchstone relationships in your life, I can assure you. Experience has taught me that it is your colleagues, even more so than your mentors, that will influence your career in the most positive and profound of ways. So again, I would encourage you to nurture those professional relationships and, that you have forged during your time here at MacEwan. As the Chancellor said, our troubled world is a troubled place, and this world needs the arts. We need people like you, emerging artists with voices that are important and strong, and those involved in fine arts communications as well. Simply said, what you do as graduates is important. What you do makes a positive difference in this world. It is often through creating, giving, and receiving of the fine arts that we as a society can come to terms with living through these troubled times. The fine arts provide us with a unique opportunity to envision who and what we want to be, whilst fostering empathy and community. Pablo Picasso once famously said that art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. So again, what you do is important. Please remember that. Upon graduation, you'll leave behind the altruistic, idealistic post-secondary learning space and place that you have enjoyed here at MacEwan University. As you make your way through the real world, I hope you will not get too discouraged by those you encounter who will try to convince you that what you do and value is not important. I'd encourage you to find creative ways to stay connected to your passions. This connection to your passions will help inform your internal compass. It will help guide you through unfamiliar territory ahead, and it would help you make both deliberate and intuitive quick decisions along the way, all of which will be good for you. I want to share you that I often feel less qualified the more experienced I get, which seemed counterintuitive to me for many years and for a very long time. I've come to understand, however, that these thoughts and feelings are a sign of growth, not of stagnation. My skill set is not diminishing. My perspective is broadening. As one learns and experiences more, they realize how little they actually know. And this is good, and it's normal. My related advice to you is to be fair and kind to yourself as you move through your career, as artists are famously overcritical of themselves and their work. Maintain a passion for your little corner of the fine arts world, as I've tried to do in mine, and be fair and kind to yourself. This approach can help inoculate you in many ways against the cynicism and lethargy which are rampant in our world and in the real world when people are trying to convince you of what you value and do is not important. I can't give you any specific advice leading to a guaranteed success in the fine arts and communications realm, except to say that the fine arts are not linear. What I mean by that is in other vocations, one can see what lies down the road ahead in predictable and even comfortable kinds of ways. I'd like to suggest to you, not only to our graduands, but to their families and to all on the invocation and convocation stage today, that we should not conflate issues of linearity with opportunity. There are many opportunities that lie ahead for those graduating today, even in a non-linear realm like the fine arts. Graduands, please remember that these opportunities will reveal themselves to you if you follow your passions, or as Joseph Campbell used to say, if you follow your bliss. The fine arts really do wash off the dust of everyday living for us all. Congratulations on your achievement today, and thank you for choosing your passion in the first place. Again, it's indeed an honor to be here. And with that, next we'd like to offer a short musical gift dedicated to our graduates and their families. And I would like to expend a special thanks to the fine artist who's being featured today. I received a wonderful gift from Kelsey Calder, and I believe that their artwork is on stage in the audience. So thank you again for this honor. The following composition is a composition of mine entitled Everyday Living. We hope you enjoy it.
Everyday life, absolutely magical. Dr. Raymond Marie, you must be so proud. I understand Dean McNeil was in your first big band.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. Congratulations. I now invite Chancellor Fields to join me for the presentation of graduands and conferring of credentials. Graduands, if you are able, please rise. On behalf of the faculties and schools of MacEwan University, I present these graduands and those named in the Convocation program who are not at the ceremony. I ask that they be admitted to the MacEwan University credentials that they have earned.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Province of Alberta, and upon the recommendation of MacEwan University's General Faculties Council, I admit you to the degree, diploma, or certificate to which you are entitled. And I invest in you all the rights and privileges, powers and responsibilities pertaining to that credential. Now, I bestow upon you this credential as a solemn trust to transform, to engage, and to improve the world from this day forth, to teach and to learn from others, so that through your learning we may all flourish. Congratulations.
You may be seated now. Thank you, Dr. Fields. In celebration of Indigenous Peoples Day, we are now going to have another performance. The Logan Alexis Singers will return to the stage to perform with Bronson LaChance. Bronson is a youth men's traditional dancer. He hails from the Mikisew Cree Nation and tells stories through his traditional dancing and singing. Protocol was offered before the ceremony. Thank you, Bronson and the Logan Alexis Singers. In a moment, our marshals will bring our graduates to the stage. Off stage to your right is Elliot Rose, Alumni Association representative. Elliot will present each graduate with a gift on behalf of the MacEwan University Alumni Association. The graduate procession is ordered by faculty and school. Student awards will be presented in advance of graduates. This will be the moment for graduates to shine and be recognized for what you've accomplished. As you make your way across the stage, you'll see a footprint right ahead of me, right there. Please pause for a photo. Take a moment and wave to your friends and family. We are thrilled to welcome our graduates to the stage. After 2 years of virtual ceremonies, we celebrated our first in-person convocation in the fall. This is our first full spring convocation, and we are so excited to see our graduates walk the stage. And although we won't be shaking hands today, I know all of us will be proudly watching and cheering, all of you cheering, as each graduate crosses the stage. The Logan Alexis Singers will perform an honor song as the graduates are being assembled. At this time, I invite Dr. Alan Gilliland, Dean for the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications, to come to the podium.
Thank you. Dean, that piece was beautiful. Sorry, Dean and I are great friends, so it was kind of emotional. Yeah, I gotta get my you-know-what together. Anyway, in each faculty and school at MacEwan University, we recognize the students whose academic efforts place them at the top of their class. The Dean's Medal are the highest academic honor that may be granted by a faculty, and these medals recognize the exemplary success of individual students in an area of study. One award may be granted in a certificate or diploma program, and one award in a degree program. The Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a degree program in the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications is awarded to Shay McMullen, a graduate of the Bachelor of Design program. I would like to invite her to award winner to join me here on stage. Shay. So as I mentioned, Shay is a graduate of the Design Studies program. She had a GPA of 3.959. Yeah. I just want to know, like, who took the 0.1% that almost made it for, anyway. Congratulations, Shay. These comments were provided by the chair of the program, Robert Andruko. Shay exemplifies the MacEwan Bachelor of Design vision. She brilliantly blends design thinking and making to create products that solve complex, real-world communication and digital problems. She excels in multiple design sub-disciplines, from digital experience design to book design to illustration. And, like all good designers, she was an excellent communicator, always engaged in class discussions, peer critiques, helping create a positive classroom environment. Shay is a very deserving of this award. Congratulations, Shay. The Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a certificate or diploma program in the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications is awarded to Chantal Boudreau, a graduate of the Theatre Production Diploma program. No, I don't. Oh, is Chantal here? Hey, excellent. Please come on, Chantal. She wasn't at lunch, so I wasn't sure. Just a little bit off script here. It was incredible the work that the faculty behind me here did in theater and music to actually make theater and music happen during the pandemic. And I think Chantal was a recipient of that ability to still actually practice her craft while we were literally locked down, but we would still put on shows and we still did performances. So thank you to everybody who worked so hard to do that for Chantal and her students. Chantal's GPA is 3.985. Yeah. And these words come from Scott Spidell, the chair of theater. Chantal has proven herself to be an exemplary student. She constantly challenges herself to get the most out of every project. Chantal is a great team player and collaborator, and her team players know that Chantal will always be there, pulling more than her own weight. Theater is art by teams, and Chantal's attention to detail ensures her teams will always be on track. The department is overjoyed that she has decided to come back this fall to join the third year of our BFA program, which is launching this fall. And we wouldn't be surprised if you see her again here in 2 years. Congratulations, Chantal. Eminent Chancellor and Madame President, I now present to you the following graduates from the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications.
And now, presenting graduates receiving the Bachelor of Communication Studies, Maya Abdallah. Braden Ray Aubrey. Aubriana Teresa Broughton. Morgan Patrick Dowd. K. Electo Del Rio. Emma Kate Dietz with distinction. Elizabeth Marie Zenek with distinction.
Elka Jacqueline Eisenzimmer. Cassidy Formenti with distinction. Kelsey Nicole Friesen with distinction. Angela Josephine Giacobo with distinction. Sarah Elizabeth Hallcrow. Isabella Grace Hobbins. Brett Allen Holden.
Mia Michelle Hollowaychuk. Sarah Emma Dawn Jackson. Jacqueline Victoria Marie Kusi. Natalie Rose LaBuick with distinction. Hannah Carmen Lintott with distinction. Claudia Salome Magalienci with distinction. Lauren Jane McMullen with distinction.
Savannah Ray Parker. Savannah Lee Marie Incura. Sierra Nicole Roche. Matthew James Salopek. Marina Elise Grace Sims with distinction. Ace Syndico. Come forward. Grace Satima. Bailey Audrey Stephan with distinction. Sophia Roma Storti. Sophia Timoshenko. Chelsea Ray Whitelock. Chloe Anna Zanari. And lastly, and now presenting graduates receiving their Bachelor of Design. My apologies. Coming out next, the lovely Alexis Marcel Reed. And now, Bachelor of Design, Anna Cody Burry.
Jasmine Deganajad. Kirsten Marie Ekstrom. Melina Goes, with distinction. Riley Hildebrandt, with distinction.
Anna Kramer. Liam McGregor. Roisin Mari Danan. Mikael Hatton. Mi Han Nguyen. Tinuolua Ola Bimtan. Janae Olson. Sabrine Osman Hachi.
Hannah Reaper. Nicholas David Richmond. Summer Tangelin Shields. Jade Sydney Fox Staines. Emma Rosewine. And lastly, Taylor Denise Ewell. And now presenting graduates receiving their Bachelor of Music in Jazz and Contemporary Popular Music. Aaron David Adoricio.
Brianna Marie Beeler. Dane Jonas Bjornsson, with distinction. James Allen Brown. Alexa Jordan Cable, with distinction. Dylan Kenneth Cabe. Emily Lynette Dakin, with distinction. Roman Nicholas Dubrul, with distinction.
Emily Rowan Friesen, with distinction. Gareth Ian Curran Gilliland, with distinction. Justine Carl Gutierrez. Keegan Russell Hewitt. Brendan Eric Hebert with distinction. David Nguyen Lee. Kevin Lin with distinction. Mazen Mahfouz with distinction.
Lily Kathleen Monahan. Joseph William Clemens Parisien. Eliana Parado with distinction. Danica Alexandra Espiritu Reyes. Francesco Michel Rizzuto. Holly Ann Sangster. Ian Jefferson Small. Justin Eves Smith with distinction.
Curtis Ben Ward with distinction. Aaron Kevin Watamaniak. Scotia Elizabeth Adair Wills. Katrina Jin Ting Ying with distinction. And lastly, Lelena Lin Young. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Design Studies Diploma. Kayla Lekop Agustin. Erin Courtney Bennett.
Logan Andrew Fitt. Coralie Raymond La Rochelle. And lastly, Alan Van No. And now, presenting graduates receiving Sarah Grace Zeiner. And now presenting Graphic Design Diploma graduates, Chelsea Dawn Favre. And now presenting graduates receiving the Music Diploma, Janae Nelson. And lastly,
And now presenting graduates receiving the Music Theater Performance Diploma, Miranda Kathleen Ann Buckholz. Emily Mary Gallagher. Christine Nicole Crayhoot. Samela Sokana Mefeyana. Ella Mori.
Haley Joy Muhlenberg. And lastly, Nida Vanderham. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Studio Arts Diploma, Kelsey Danielle Calder, with distinction. Desiree Joanne Dibben. Lauren James Formansky, with distinction. Sky Grace Hamilton. Carly Louise Hollins, with distinction.
Lee Nicole Humphrey. And lastly, Jiao Mei Yang, with distinction. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Theater Production Diploma, Samantha Cone Bingham. Brooke Shelby Versovich. Malaya Ray Patalo. Julia Elizabeth Toranchuk Lastly.
Congratulations to all our award winners and our graduating class of 2022. And I will say the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications students really knew how to hit their mark on their stage, and that's just the beginning. Yeah. And as our provost points out, watch for the big band. When they enter stage left, things are going to get pumping. So anyways, it's so great. We've spoken a lot about relationships over the last 6 ceremonies, and it's clear to me that a lot of incredibly strong friendships have been formed, and that's so grateful. That's so great to see. This is a faculty where all of the graduates know how to tell stories, and we thought, what a better way to celebrate our 50 years than to let our students tell our story, and this story is a musical story. The lyricist of this piece, Aaron David Adaricio, he just walked across the stage. Congratulations. No, sorry, I got it backwards. He's the composer, David. Oh my gosh, Aaron David Adaricio, he's the composer. And the lyrics were written by Bachelor of Arts student Madison Matthews, who isn't here today, different faculty. We are going to hear Heart of the City, performed by the MacEwan Big Band. That was Heart of the City, composed by Aaron Adaricio, with poetry and lyrics written by Madison Matthews, and performed by the awesome MacEwan Big Band. One more. This year, the student address will be provided by the recipient of the MacEwan University President's Medal for Academic Excellence and Student Leadership. The President's Medal recognizes graduating students who have made an outstanding contribution to campus activities while maintaining a superior academic record. The recipient of the President's Medal is Elaine Tran, a graduate of the Sociology program in the Bachelor of Arts. Elaine achieved a GPA of 3.463 over the course of her program. Her academic work includes a published paper, academic book reviews, and a second-place finalist in an international essay competition. Elaine is also an advocate for students through her work with the Students Association of MacEwan. She promoted a more diverse campus through her work with Champions of Diversity and Equity and by helping to create the Human Rights, Diversity, and Equity Student Club. She has taken on critical contemporary topics. Her honors thesis analyzed the discourse around anti-Asian racism amid the COVID-19 pandemic in Canadian local and national media. Elaine's passion for community is demonstrated in her work with the John Humphrey Centre for Peace and Human Rights, Girl Up Alberta, and the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. Among our many successful, creative, and innovative graduates, Elaine's work and attitude stood out. Indeed, one of her nominators said, "I rarely see students with such deep intellectual curiosity, perseverance, and grit." Elaine has provided a recorded student address.
Thank you, Dr. Trimby, for the introduction. Welcome administrators, faculty, distinguished guests, family, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2022. When I was asked to share a message with all of you today, I recalled an adage from my dad: cut the crap and get to the point. So with that, I will aim to keep my remarks brief. After reflecting and ruminating on the past 5 years I've spent at MacEwan, I realized what made my experience a uniquely fruitful, joyous, and rewarding one: my sense of courage, curiosity, and resilience. I arrived at MacEwan in the fall of 2017. I had just graduated high school a few months earlier, and I entered the clock tower doors with eagerness and excitement at the abilities I would develop, the experiences I would acquire, and the knowledge I would gain. Though, like many of you, I'm sure, as much as I was excited and grateful, I was equally afraid and fearful. Today, as we celebrate our accomplishments and achievements, I hope that we can look back and reflect on the seasons that have passed us in our educational journey and be reminded of our unapologetic and unwavering courage, curiosity, and resilience. Our sense of courage and curiosity has led us to achieve and experience many firsts. Like me, some of you may be the first to graduate university in your family, the first to introduce yourself to someone new, the first to offer your perspective in class, the first to ask a question that has never been asked, the first to re-enter post-secondary after many years away from formal education, or the first to fulfill and live your dreams. Our sense of resilience has led us through minus 30-degree days running to catch the 7:30 a.m. train, to cramming last minute for a midterm, to crying at least once on campus, to drinks at towers amid finals season, to napping at any open spot you could find, to encouraging conversations with instructors and faculty members, to laughs shared on the way to class, to standing in the 27 feet long Tim Hortons line in Building 6, and to surviving in a global pandemic. Our sense of resilience is not short in supply. I hope you know that all of these experiences, some daunting and unspoken of, led you to today, one of the most exciting and rewarding days of your life. Finally, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the people that contributed to the 5 years I've spent here. Thank you to my dad, my brother Kevin, the trio of women who raised me, Bucknam, Paula, Buckeye, Austin, my partner, my friends, and of course, my instructors. Thank you for empowering, supporting, and uplifting me when I needed it the most. I am here because of you. Now, as I look out into the crowd, I feel immense joy and pride because I am confident that all of us, to draw on what Dr. J.W. Grant MacEwan has said, will leave MacEwan a better place than when we found it, and will continue to make great strides of positive change in each and every one of our future endeavors. We will continue to have courage, be curious, and exemplify resilience. Congratulations, class of 2022. We have so much to be proud of.
Thank you, Elaine. Elaine reminds us all that each and every graduate here has been supported by their family and friends, and they appreciate that. She also spoke about resiliency. This is our 6th ceremony this week, and many of our speakers have talked about resiliency and courage and curiosity. But I want to go back to what Dean McNeil had to say, because I was so caught up in his musical performance, I forgot he actually shared some words in advance. But the one quote that really stuck with me was his reference to art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. And his musical piece really showed me how absolutely beautiful everyday life is. And I think the truth is, art, design, storytelling in all forms doesn't only help us every day, but it certainly has helped us survive the global pandemic. So I want to thank all of our faculty and instructors and students who choose art, design, and storytelling, because I don't think we tell you enough how important you are. So I want to give you a round of applause, just out of the blue, not in the program, but I've certainly benefited from you with no talent of my own. I now request Elliot Rose, a lover of art and fashion, I think, all things beautiful, Alumni Association representative, back to the podium to provide the alumni welcome.
Thank you so much, President Trimby, and to all our speakers today, and of course, our Faculty of Fine Arts and Communication grads. I had a joke that I've been thinking about, and it was percolating a little bit, but honestly, I feel so inspired to be surrounded by so many artists right now that I think I'm going to try and rise to the occasion. If I had courage 14 years ago when I stumbled into MacEwan University, I would have attempted to apply for your program. I think art is incredible, and especially in today's current environment, it might be one of the few things, as it's always been, that redeems humanity. I appreciate that, thank you. And a great example is listening to MacEwan's big band today and how extraordinary their sound is. I was fortunate to live in residence with David Merrick, a musician and artist, graduated years ago, and I couldn't believe, I thought accounting was hard. I failed it 3 times. The amount David practiced, and it wasn't just repetition of notes, it really, honestly, it was, I felt, and I don't want to overstate it, but I'm going to do it anyways, he was struggling with himself on a regular basis to find that true note. And my business degree is great. I'm really grateful for it, and it's opened so many opportunities, and I will continue to do business-like things. But nothing compares to challenging yourself, looking inwards, asking tough questions, and as Dean mentioned earlier, being okay with not having answers. And I also really appreciate not only where we are today, where you are today as artists, but seeing and hearing Dean McNeil's words, and especially, like everyone keeps coming back to, the notes that he played with such passion's almost too easy of a word to produce, but I don't know, I almost brought tears to my eyes as well, and I say that sincerely. I wish there were things in my life that I felt that way about that could produce majesty. And so Dean also quoted Pablo Picasso. Some of you may have heard of him. And I'm a terrible artist, but I do know a Picasso quote as well. And I'd love to share it with you. Picasso said, "Art is the lie that reveals the truth." And I struggled with that a little bit. I really tried to consider that. And I disagree. I believe art is the truth that reveals the lie. Now, where's my 100 million? Dang, I lost it. But moving on. Back to the script here. Good afternoon and congratulations, class of 2022. Again, I mentioned I stumbled in 14 years ago, 15 years ago, so don't do the math here. Well, I guess I did it for you. As a 2019 Bachelor of Commerce graduate and a representative proudly of MacEwan's University Alumni Association, I am truly thrilled to congratulate you on academic achievements, sure, but being willing to struggle with the truth. That, I think, is the real achievement here, through art. And also be the first to welcome you to our Alumni Association. I still remember my first day on campus, going to my first class, meeting my classmates and navigating the halls of MacEwan. The memories of my time spent on campus remain with me today. I also lived in residence that had a strong impact. As I met my two best friends I met the first day in residence, it was so cool. I was lost in residence and there was a floor meeting. I was floor 3, I think, first year. And I went to the wrong common room, as did David Merrick, who I mentioned earlier. And only at MacEwan was, the hallway was not as long as this one here. By the time David and I had walked from one common room to the actual common room where the floor meeting was, we walked in, people thought we were best friends. True story, still are best friends. He went to the music program. He went to Liverpool, Sir Paul McCartney School of Music, so I don't see him anymore. Anyway, as each of you look around the room today and embark on your own journey, remember that you're leaving MacEwan with so much more than a credential. I'm here to remind you that the friendships and memorable moments that shaped your experience here over these past years will continue with you no matter what path you take. You now join over 84,000 alumni who are making a difference in communities across the province, country, and globe. This is a group of peers who you now share a common experience with. Connect with them. Stay connected with each other. Continue to cheer on our Griffins. I'm sure all you artists were at every single sports game we had, so keep going to them. Stay involved in the MacEwan University community and perhaps walk the halls as a mentor to the next generation of students. Highly advise. Get in touch with future students. You guys have so much to give. You are an important part of our university's legacy. I hope that you embrace being a MacEwan alum in the same way that you embraced being a MacEwan student, with commitment and passion. Once again, on behalf of Alumni Association, congratulations, class of 2022, Enjoy this moment. You earned it.
Thank you, Elliot Rose, for that wonderful speech. And you have given some great messages to our students, our graduates. I'm sort of caught in a time loop here. It's like, and you've also given me a quandary to take home and pose about the relationship between art, truth, and lies. I think this is where fine arts and communications meets quantum mechanics. This brings us to the closing moments of our ceremony, and I would like to thank all of you who have joined us online today and here in person. It gives me great pleasure to thank the many people in MacEwan community who have worked hard to make this convocation happen. Faculty, I want to thank you for all of your work. You ensured that your students were engaged in meaningful academic experiences that have built their success here today. Graduates, I'd like to once again congratulate you all on your success. While this signifies the end of your academic career here at MacEwan, it is not the end of your lifelong journey of learning. I know that there are many people that helped you on your journey thus far. I'd like to invite you, our graduates, to express your appreciation to those who have supported you along the way. Would the faculty, family, and friends of our graduates please rise? Graduates, a round of applause, please. Faculty, family, and friends, you may be seated. And now, in turn, I ask the graduates to rise, and I invite our audience, faculty, and staff to join me in congratulating our graduates of 2022. You may be seated, graduates. And now, just before I close, when we close, the platform party, led by the mace bearer, will leave the stage, and next, the graduates will leave, and I would ask the family and friends to remain seated until our graduates have left, and then join them out of the outside. So, with that, I declare this convocation closed.